Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ricardo Sturdivant's Tuesday Feels live on Reinventing the Tattoo. Today is let's see what today episode number is. Not quite sure yet, but it's been a long time. We're really excited. Ricardo, it's good to see you. I know that you had a really interesting week last week. I know that we'll elaborate a little bit more on that. I know you're at Guy's, which is a fun place for me to go as well. Got some work done, did a collab.
Yep.
Yep. Jason was there as well. So hopefully he pops on and can talk about that experience a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It's so good hanging out with them and stuff too. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Other than that, thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. If you want to let us know that all of these streams are working in the chat by tagging a friend or just, letting us know, we're streaming out to several different places, including Facebook, YouTube, our website at reinventingthetattoo.com as well. If you are on our website, if you scroll to the very bottom and you can see our Google Calendar with the Zoom link to join in today, we'd love to have you. We are really excited to be doing more live events this year. We do have Hell City planned for Reinventing the Tattoo, and some of us will be in Philadelphia this coming weekend as well. Yeah. Ricardo, do you have any upcoming plans? Or are you kind of settled back in after your trip?
I think I'm finally starting to get settled back in. It was a busy week. I ended up having some tattoo appointments before and after I left for the trip and stuff like that. So it kind of like, we had to kind of adjust and pull some maneuvers to kind of make things happen, some late nights, some early mornings and stuff like that. But it makes it that much more of an adventure, you know what I mean? So I was pretty stoked. Plus having the company of Jason too was a blast. Of course, very informative. If any of you guys know Jason, it's definitely a lot of information and stuff like that coming your way. But yeah, it was cool.
Information.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always awesome to be around him and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like it was good to have him here in my hometown and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The last time he came through, he didn't get a chance to. Actually, he came to my old shop, which was my private studio at the time, and I've since closed that. And I've been working at a new shop with a bunch of people, and he was super stoked about just all the artwork and stuff like that we have going on here. And it was good to hang out and introduce him to all the other guys, all the other people working here.
While we're talking about him, do you mind if I screen share while you're talking?
So she came back a little bit too late, but it's okay though. Yeah, no, it was pretty crazy, man. This week was awesome. I went to Guy Aitchison's Hyperspace Studios. There's the tattoo we worked on. There's Jason's leg. Yeah. Yeah, that's the second pass on his cover up. And it was so amazing sitting there watching it happen as it was being explained and being done, being executed. The process that guy has, having done oil paintings for the past few years now, it's very much like an oil painting process. The way he gets the layers and stuff like that in there, and then the textures, and brings everything back to life as far as the values that he starts adding with color. It's pretty incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's an awesome piece. It's super epic, and like that's a really great picture, a really great video of this right now. But man, it does nothing for it. Like as far as seeing it in person, it's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
Jason,
really. Go ahead.
Jason was putting it on live on Instagram as it was happening.
Yeah.
And I kept switching back and forth between Guy's feed and Jason's feed just to watch it happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. I know there's a lot of footage and stuff like that. What they do with that, I'm not sure yet. But there was hours and hours of footage. Jason logged a bunch of like video equipment and stuff like that from Philly, and really put in a lot of effort to make that recording happen in a really like high res kind of way. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be awesome once we figure out what they do with that. But
I think that cool. When I was down there last, we did a lot of filming with our cameras, which are pretty high res too. And Kyle was making some content. The guy works on a really cool videographer down there. So I think that he has some access to some cool content coming.
Yeah, he was mentioning that, man. It sounds pretty exciting. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the coolest things about being around a bunch of like artists and stuff like that. Whenever they talk about some of the work that they're doing and seeing it, is to get motivated and inspired by it. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was really excited about the possibility of what's going to be happening with some of that new access to some of that new stuff with the videographer and stuff. So
I do have a couple little videos that Jason shared. I can pull them up shortly.
yeah, I was going to say too, I think I saw that black and gray session that we were doing on the Instagram page too. But yeah, whatever you want to share, man, by all means, please do.
Sure, I'll bring them up in a second.
Hold on one second. Sorry about the phone ringing. I'm at the shop today, so yeah, go for it whenever you're ready.
Yeah, it'll take me a couple minutes. We can keep talking while I look.
Yeah, you know, Medusa had asked earlier before we got on live about if I had any topics of discussion. I don't think I really did have too much topics, but I guess I could talk about like the inspiration that happened down there, man. You know what I mean? Like it comes from all places. I don't know where you guys draw your source of inspiration from, but sometimes it just kind of pops on you. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was super excited to hang out with Jason, go back down the guys and stuff like that. But with the way things had kind of panned out, it did make it a little stressful. Plus the tension to be able to get down there and tattoo a guy again. You know what I mean? Like not that it's on him at all. Like it's all on me. Like he's super easy to hang out with and stuff like that. But I was so pumped to be down there, man. It's so cool to be able to like hang out with those dudes and talk about like art and stuff like that with him. Super informative, always very friendly and very knowledgeable. You know what I mean? So, but we did talk about a few things. One of the things that we talked about was creating our own style, you know, like how to do that. You know what I mean? Like with Guy, he's been tattooing and this rendering for decades now, and he's been just getting better and better at it, more and more efficient at it too. And it's pretty incredible to pick his brain about like how you would want to go about creating your own style. You know what I mean? And what you want to start tattooing and what you want to be recognized for. And one of the cool things that he mentioned that made a lot of sense is just, you know, what you post as far as what you present to your possible clientele or to the audience. You know, those are the things that if you're motivated by your own art or you're motivated by a piece, for whatever reason that may be, if you're trying to push your own style, definitely try to just post some of those things that you get to do on people where they're like, hey man, free will, do whatever you want, have at it. I dig what you're going to do. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things. Let's check out one of these videos. It looks like we got a lot of footage here.
I just went through that feeling of two tattooers on my left leg. It's bringing me back. I wasn't on the lower leg, but man, I can see that he's enjoying it.
Is it playing?
What was that? Yeah, it's playing. Do you see it?
All I see is the good screenshot. Sorry. Did you guys see it playing, or was it just me?
No, all I see is the screenshots.
Yeah.
It's okay. I was sharing from my messages. I've never done that before. I've got it.
Okay, cool. No worries. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah, we ended up tattooing from his thigh all the way down to his ankle that day.
Ooh.
And this was the second pass, yeah. So this is some of the stuff that I had laid down the first session down here at the bottom of the leg, and Guy's going back in and kind of putting his spin on it, adding some more contrast. And there I am nervously tattooing next to him.
That's got to be a little nerve-wracking.
Oh, it was super nerve-wracking. And that day was opposite day too. Like Guy had black gloves on, I had white gloves on. It's pretty funny. Guy usually tattoos with white gloves. So this is a piece that we kind of both came up with, and the image we both came up with based off of the client, off of his idea. And it was pretty fun because we ended up showing up at Hyperspace late afternoon the first day, and we sat down till like 12 a.m. or 1 a.m., like kind of like doodling on what little sketches we did have with Heath there. Heath did really well this session. He did really well the first session too, but this one was pretty grueling because we were both in some pretty painful spots on the leg this session. That's my buddy Heath, a client that I've known for a lot of years. Yeah, it's pretty incredible to be able to tattoo a guy like that.
So this is the same guy that you did a collab on a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, so this was the second session. So the first session we spent a lot of time laying out the design and stuff like that, and then getting the stencil on and kind of like, you know, drawing a little bit where the stencil didn't really work that well and stuff like that. And then getting like the foundation kind of laid down, you know. So we got a lot of like mid-tone values and stuff like that. We had some high contrast in it, but mostly mid-tone values and stuff. So this session we kind of went in like what Guy would do with color, we did with black and gray, where we just kind of like fine-tuned some things and started adding a little bit more detail here and there.
I see that Guy, when he was tattooing, he was reaching over another leg, so his canvas area is pretty far away from him.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I can't tattoo. I have to be like up close with everything.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is that it's actually beneficial for you to kind of be at arm's length away sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of take in a little bit more information and a little bit more of like, especially with a black and gray piece, I think is like a little bit more of how the values are going to stand out, you know, from a little bit of a further distance. Like he does get in on some different angles. He gets a little bit closer later on, but yeah, it is pretty impressive though.
Well, I just like bending over another limb.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the other guy's leg.
Yeah.
And I mean, if anybody knows when you're tattooing like one leg and something like hurts, your other leg can flinch with you. If his arms are resting on that other leg or above that and his other leg flinches because, you know, y'all hit a spicy spot, like that's tricky. That's dangerous territory. So it's really impressive that he does that. I also noticed he wraps his arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's something my old boss was teaching me and always hounded me about all the time. Wrap your arms, wrap your arms. It'll save your wrists in the future because instead of doing this all the time, you can actually rest.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really cool to see that he does that too.
Yeah, it definitely allows you to rest your arm, you know, and it keeps all that stuff, the nasty plasma and stuff like that off your skin too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cleaner for him. It's cleaner for the client too. You know, because if your arm's sweaty and you're getting that sweat into like an open porous area, it's not gonna be good. I mean, I've used tattoo sleeves and stuff like that before. You know what I mean?
They always are so gross.
Yeah,
they don't
so
let your
sweaty.
skin breathe underneath.
Yeah, it's always like damp whenever you take them off. It's like, whoa.
My old boss always taught me to double up paper towels and wrap them around and tape them.
Yeah. The dental bib works out really well. You know what I mean? Like it's really quick. It's super convenient. And you know, you buy a lot of them anyway when you reorder them. Yeah. So like I spent a lot of time, him and I spent a lot of time joking around, like messing around with Heath about the pain and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like trying to get everybody comfortable and stuff, but like, it was really fun. And we talked about a lot of like technique and stuff like that too, but like the most fun that I had was just getting into that I don't know, that artistic vibe with them. You know what I mean? Like that whole zoned kind of area with them. You know what I mean? So that was pretty awesome. Like the whole thing was so amazing. But like I think what I had the most fun with was when we were both in that same zone at the same time. You know what I mean? And really talking about the process of contrast to the value of the lighter shades and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot watching him. It was really, really fun at one point in time towards the end of the night because he kind of like drew this like little hook, like his textured hooks that he does on to some of the background that we talked about how we were going to approach it, you know, and for him to like ask me questions on what I thought was just blowing my mind, dude. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I'm just going to follow your lead, dude.
Yeah, like you asking me? You
I know,
asking
yeah,
my
totally.
opinion?
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? So that was pretty cool. But like to watch him render the, you know, his textural kind of layout, to watch the process start from like a very rudimentary sketch to turn into the base values, the midtone and light value, and then for me to go in and like kind of like start adding some contrast and stuff like that too. It was awesome. I learned a lot from that experience. And it's a lot of fun to learn about layering in tattooing, you know, especially with some black and gray. But it's been something that I've been applying to my art for a little while, to my tattoos for a little while. But, you know, I don't know about you guys. Do you guys do anything like that at all? Like, do you guys kind of like get back into areas to kind of add a little bit more oomph to them, a little bit more value to them?
I do that actually really regularly. I try to make it routine where especially if it's a big piece that I am really proud of and I really want it in my portfolio and stuff, but like any piece that has a lot of detail in, I schedule my clients for a follow-up appointment even after I think it's finished, because I want to see how it healed and to put in those extra touch-ups. Like that space bong. I don't know if you guys saw the space bong that I did recently. It's a purple skull bong with like clouds
Yeah.
of space going around.
Mhm.
That one was supposed to be finished like a month ago, but I had her come back for a follow-up because I was like, I want to see how this heals, and I want to make sure those white stars like are white. And when she came back, I realized, all right, we actually do have a couple places I really want to touch up, and there's some edges that I gotta fix. And so I called it just like a free touch up, but it was basically because I wanted to make sure that when it healed the way I wanted it to look. And also I know my name's going to be attached to that when she's walking around. So if it's not up to my standards, fucking, I'm just letting garbage walk out the door.
Totally.
But I considered that like the final touches to be my last layer. And I like kind of like, especially when I'm coloring, almost like pepper shading the color in. And it always takes like maybe 2 or 3 appointments, but I feel like it's less traumatic for the skin.
Yeah.
And I can define more without causing a lot of trauma in one session if I take it slowly and do it in layers.
You know, that's awesome that you brought that up, Medusa, because that's something that Jason and I talked about too. You know, I did have the opportunity to use the Soul Nova Unlimited. I love that machine.
Which
I love
one?
it. The Cheyenne Soul Nova Unlimited. If you saw, like, Guy and I were using the same machine, that's the one that Guy uses. Like, it's pretty awesome. You know, you're very able to kind of like hang the needle grouping out just a little bit more and do exactly what you're talking about, almost peppering it. You know what I mean? Where you're not going in, you're not plowing the ink in like what you're taught traditionally to do with the traditional walk-in tattoo. It's like make it solid, pass through it once. You know what I mean? Make sure that it's even about the skin tone. You see all the skin pores and stuff like that, and everything's heavily saturated. This is a little bit more of like a finite kind of or an accumulation, right? Like where you're letting the needles hang out a little bit more and just kind of like grazing the skin and stuff like that, and just letting that saturation collect through a few more passes rather than just like plowing straight through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I started thinking about this technique when I recently picked up color pencils.
Okay.
And I feel like with color pencils, because I know a lot of people color like real hard, deep to get that solid color. I like to do it in very soft layers and let the pigment build up.
Yep.
And so like that's what I kind of compare it to. If there's like a little analogy and everything, it's just like almost just gently brushing the pigment on in layers so that it can build up to a full saturation instead of just like fucking plowing it in right away, going
Mhm.
hardcore like Macho Man Randy Savage or some shit.
Or the Ultimate Warrior. We'll go with the Ultimate Warrior. He was cooler than Macho Man. But I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I have a thing for Macho Man because I have a mom van. I
Okay.
have a like a Mazda and everything. That's what I drive. And her name is Macho Vandy Savage. So
That's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, you know, you
I have
can
a
also
friend and his name is Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. Nice.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. And it's spelled Vango, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I like that. You know, also one of the benefits of that technique too, I think, is that the client can definitely feel the difference. You know what I mean? There's like a much
Yeah.
gentler kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like you're being torn open, you know?
Although
But go ahead.
for clients, I really like going above and beyond to try to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Because when your client sits comfortably, you get to tattoo longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you get to like focus more on your work rather than focusing on trying to hold them down.
Yep.
So I've always been really generous with pillows, Bactine, adjusting the heat or bringing them a fan if they're too hot or too cold. I keep snacks at my station to keep their blood sugar up. I need to restock, but I usually have like water bottles and everything. But recently I had a client that couldn't sit. And I know that Guy likes to make sure that his clients can sit, and I know that he's pretty generous with like Bactine and stuff too. This client would freak out, like actually audibly throw a fit when I wiped them with water.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What did you do?
People just
What'd you
don't know
end
what
up-
they're
I
doing.
barely touched them. Like we couldn't finish it. I was doing a very light stipple shading with it was thick stipple shading. Like the dots were supposed to be visible, so I was using a bug pin 5.
Yeah.
And you know, running it super slow and just doing gentle touches for shading, and they were freaking out. They were having a very difficult time. And yeah, I tried to give them Bactine a couple of times and it didn't work. They didn't take to it. Some people just, it doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, wiping them with water, with distilled water, caused them tremendous pain too. So I'm wondering how I can make the client more comfortable when they come back so that I can finish their tattoo that we didn't get to finish because it hurt too much.
I think sometimes, no matter what you facilitate as far as comfort goes, I think sometimes it's just the person that's getting tattooed. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I think
They get
sometimes,
too far in their own head.
yeah,
Just gonna be thinking about the pain the whole time.
I think sometimes there's like this like life coach thing that kind of kicks in. You know what I mean? Where you have to like talk them, you have to convince them that they got this. You know what I mean? That you can do it. That it's
I was trying to use my best bedside manner. I offered them snacks. Their partner was there too, holding their hand. They're like, I got candy for you, babe. And I was just like, that's awesome, girl. You got this. Like, let's do this. It's gonna be great. Like, you are a strong ass bitch. We got this. And you know, like, I got some more candy. If you want to spike up your blood sugar, we can take a break if you need. We'll just put some Bactine on it. It's fine. It's fine. We got this. We just got to finish this real quick, you know. And it was difficult.
You know, I've been there before. It's been a little while, but I've been there before. This one kid the other day came in for his first tattoo. We did this half sleeve with a cross and an American flag and whatever floats his boat, you know what I mean? And that's cool. But like he got lightheaded within the first like few lines, you know what I mean? And we had to like set him down. I gave him some candy and stuff like that. And after that first initial setup, like he didn't really talk to me too much. We didn't really have a whole lot of conversation, but he was in the zone. You know what I mean? After that, he felt a lot better and everything like that. And sometimes you just got to get your feet wet. And I think it's like what Amber was saying, you get in your own head and that becomes bigger than what's actually happening, right? Like you've hyped yourself up so much, man. And there's some like life coaching things you got to do. One time I had this client, I used to work Artcore, the shop that I work at now used to be in a different part of town and like a more college area. So we had a lot of like walk-in clientele and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And the younger generation, I think the girl was 19. She got this little pig flying with wings on her foot. And it was cute. So we started the outline and she's like, oh, wait, I can't do this. I was like, dude, we got half the tattoo done. You got to at least finish the outline. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, fine, go ahead. So we did the outline. She's like, all right, that's all I want. I was like, look, we've already done the outline. I already have all the colors here. Let's just start on some of the color. You know what I mean? So we did the color. And then when we were finished, she's like, thank you so much. She goes, if you wouldn't have like just tried, if you wouldn't have talked me through that and like convinced me that I can do this, then I probably would just have like half of an outline of a pig flying on my foot. I was like, yeah, dude, that's all it takes sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I think Medusa, what you're doing is great. But I think sometimes you just got to be like, look, dude, you got this. Chill out. It's going to be okay. It's only going to hurt for a little while. You know what I mean? And then you're going to have a tattoo that's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
Sometimes I feel like if I'm trying really hard to make them feel comfortable, but maybe I'm babying them and enabling
Maybe
them
just
to
a little
be.
bit. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to make sure that people are comfortable. You know what I mean? I mean, you're in their space and stuff like that. And it's not always like a welcoming thing, but like they're there because they want to be. You know
Can
what I
I
mean?
charge more for the nannying fee?
Yeah, absolutely. I would.
Be like-
I would most definitely would. I most definitely would do that, man, for
It's
sure.
like, this is a little expensive. Well, yes, tattoos are expensive and you are horrible to work with.
Was I that bad? No, you weren't that bad at all.
You're great. You're my favorite.
You're great.
No,
You're my favorite. I wish I had more clients just like you.
it always makes me a little nervous because I also realize how bad I am when I'm in the chair. And I know, to me, I feel like tattoos hurt like hell. They're like one of the worst things in the world. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I try really hard to compose myself when I get tattooed. But every time I have a client that's a little difficult, that's expressing their pain a bit much, I always wonder, like, is this what I'm like?
Oh, yeah.
This is like, oh, fuck. I know it really hurts too much. Do I do this?
I always tell my clients that are feeling like that, I'm like, you know who the worst people to tattoo are? And they're like, who? I go, tattoo artists.
No, it's true.
Yes, it is.
Seriously, like every time I get tattooed, I'm like, how do I do this to people? I do this to people all the time. Like, how do they have conversations with me, dude? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. Yeah, no. I think it's just a universal thing. If you do it all the time, you kind of get desensitized to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man, it was a really cool experience, dude. I think learning more stuff about Guy's history and things like that was awesome. It was fun hanging out with Jason. We had a blast. I did try to convince him to wake up with me early in the mornings to, get a workout in and stuff like that, but he wasn't having it. He was not having it at all.
Yeah, I really need to go to the gym after this. Y'all hold me to it. When we sign off, be all like, hey, Medusa, go to the gym.
You're up already, right? Might as well.
Yeah, I am up already. And yeah, I might as well. I've been so busy, like balls deep in these projects and everything, that I haven't put any effort into taking care of my body. And I had just started because a few weeks ago when I was complaining, you were all like, that sounds like a sedentary lifestyle problem. You need to get active again. And I was all like, you're fucking right, dude. And I
Yeah.
got a gym membership, dude.
All right.
Like
all right, I'm
within
proud
that
of you.
week, I got a gym membership, all because you and Jason were all like, sounds like you're sitting too much.
Medusa, I
Yeah.
bet you'll pick up so many clients at the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I go.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You gotta get
Ricardo
there
sent me
first,
some
right?
really cool information a long time ago, from Zach Turner and you, of just like different meal options or different things to do. So that was really helpful.
Yeah.
So fun, interesting fact. I used to be really into bodybuilding long before, and I led aerobics classes, and I actually was a very physical person, and I used to rock climb all the time, way before I like decided drawing
Wow.
and staying at home is more fun. And so I don't know how to get that back because my life has changed so drastically. Like
You just gotta.
it's also been like 10 years since I like was physical. I used to be, oh man, I used to ride my bike everywhere in the rain.
That's rad. That's
Don't do
super
it
rad,
anymore.
dude.
Now I'm just like, yeah, it's been over a week since I last went to the gym. But it is really important to keep up with the physical part of everything, because we can get so buried in painting all the time and drawing tattoos and tattooing, crunching our bodies up. And then all of a sudden you see us on Zoom being like, my back hurts again. And
I sneezed and my back got thrown out.
that shit happens.
You know what though, dude? Like, all right, so that's part of the reason that I wake up so early and do it. You know what I mean? Because by the time I'm finished with the gym, I've already been up for 3-4 hours before anybody's even thinking about waking up. You know what I mean? So by the time when I get home, I eat. You know what I mean? I make sure and shower and get ready for the day and stuff like that. And then sometimes I even have enough time to sit down and start getting drawings ready for the day, or paint on a painting that I have sitting in the corner of my room or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all about how you decide what is priority in your life. And one of them should definitely be yourself first. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take care of yourself, and your health and your mental well-being is like a big part of that. And I know this isn't true for everything, because there are some conditions that people can't help. But I think that being active and being consistent with it is a major factor as far as like your mental well-being and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? Like it just makes me feel better. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel in tune with my body too. You know what I mean? Like, as far as the way it feels that day, or the way that I made myself feel that day, or being in control of that emotional part of it too. You know what I mean? So I think it's important. I think it's something that you gotta like just prioritize, and like for me too, I did the same thing, Medusa. I used to go to the gym way more than I did now. Like, I would be there 2 hours every day for sure. You know what I mean? I was doing a different kind of workout, and I had different goals and stuff like that. But I think at the time I was like in a seriously unhappy relationship. So I spent a lot of time by myself doing shit like that. Does that make sense? So like after I left that relationship, I like stopped working out. I stopped going out and doing a bunch of stuff. Like I could do still stuff here and there, but like I just quit and try to figure out if it was for me or if it was because I was trying to like avoid that whole confrontation. You know what I mean? And I think it's a little bit of both for sure, but mostly it was avoiding the conversation or the confrontation. And then I started falling back in love with like getting up early again, getting back into routine and stuff like that. And like, if I don't go, it throws everything else off for the day. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the physical exercise is not just good for your mental health and everything, but it's going to keep your career. It's going to help you keep your career for like so much longer. And I think that's one of my concerns, is trying to find timing and balancing my schedule. So between like working and doing all of my hobbies and painting at home and everything, it's really hard to even find the time. And then when I do have the time, just like, well, I still have to go to the gym and get ready the gym. Whereas I'm right here and I could also just finish this painting real quick. The painting is also right here. I don't have to go anywhere or get ready for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really easy to talk myself out of it. I was just realizing too, the difference between my sedentary lifestyle now and before, when I was much more active, is also stimulants. I used to drink a lot and I no longer drink. Drinking
for you.
helped me be very social. I was very active and social when I was drinking. That's a big 180 factor. I don't drink anymore. I'm almost 6 years sober.
Right.
And thank you. And I also kind of realized that without that lubricant, I actually am not social and I'm not active and I don't like to go out that much. So I'm trying to get back that physical activity, active part of my life without the other part that made it so much easier, so that, you know, my back doesn't hurt every time I tattoo, you know.
Yeah.
And like, God, it would really be nice to sit for like a 6-hour tattoo, just a 6-hour tattoo, nothing too big or anything, but sit down for a 6-hour session and get up and not have to be like, oh God.
Snapchat the top.
Yeah.
I know the feeling, dude. I know the feeling.
I sound like a box of Rice Krispies when I get up after a tattoo.
Oh man, I gotta do your stretches, your like pre-tattoo and after tattoo stretches.
Okay, so think about it like this. Those are good, by the way, but think about it like this. Do you have a painting station at your house or a drawing station at your house?
I have surfaces with my stuff
Okay.
on them where
Okay.
I create randomly.
But you have the things that you need to be able to sit down and like create when you're ready to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can kind of take that same principle and apply it to like when it's time to go to the gym. You know what I mean? So like if you have a bag ready by the door, or if you're like literally like at school, like when you lay your clothes out the night before and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like I will literally just lay the clothes and my shoes that I'm going to wear to the gym, so I can just get up, rinse off real fast, and then like everything's in my bathroom ready for me to go. Like just put on and just get straight out the door. On the way out of the door, right by my back door, I have a bowl full of like protein bars or something like that, or like my fridge is close to my back door too, so I'll like have the overnight oats or something like that ready to go, so I can eat before I go. You know what I mean? Like it's all just convenient. You got to make it convenient for yourself, because that's part of it, dude. Like part of the whole deal is just getting started. You know what I mean? Like just how do you start and how to make it as simple as you can so you can do it. You know what I mean? So that's one thing to think about whenever you do start doing that again. Just get it into routine. Just make it part of your routine again.
Yeah, part of the routine. All right. And I bet, you know what? I bet tattooing after the gym is really good too, because you got all those endorphins running, you got all that adrenaline. It's got to be a nice boost of creativity and good, like, feel good energy.
It is, man. It's awesome. You're much more, I'm much more in conversation with people. I'm much more in tuned with like what's happening in the conversation. I'm not spacing off or drifting off very easily and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that's another reason that I like to tattoo earlier in the day too. You know what I mean? So I can just kind of keep that momentum going, you know, and then like give my best to like the tattoo as well as I can.
Hell yeah.
You guys with your back, dude, I'm telling you, like when you're tattooing, if you sit straight up every once in a while and just like squeeze your stomach into your back and sit up with straight posture and just take 10 deep breaths while you're tattooing, it'll start helping strengthen that core and stuff for you too. So you can like your lower back won't get as fatigued as much too.
I have been practicing that wrist thing that you told me months and months ago, last year. But like I don't have like those special curved tools to rub up against it or anything. So I use tongue depressors that work.
Perfect.
Just like rubbing myself with tongue tongue depressors.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it looks fucking weird. I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe this feels great though.
It does feel good,
Uh-huh.
doesn't it? It's called Graston. So like, you know what? I'll use like a butter knife, like the backside of a butter knife, the handle part of it. You know, because they're like rounded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So try that, or like a spoon or something. Even, you know, it works out really well, man. It's like all these tendons and stuff, like all this stuff right here, and like this stuff right here. You know, like that
Yes.
that meaty part. It's like that's our like Achilles heel as tattoo artists. You know what I mean?
Oh
You guys-
yeah.
Do you get that too, Amber?
I get that numbness or the tingling in my thumb if I don't
Mhm.
stretch out my hand and make sure I pay attention to my hand health.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not drawing or tattooing, I wear a glove.
Oh, okay.
Like a compression glove?
Oh,
Oh
the-
yeah. I have
the-
compression gloves that they're like fingerless compression gloves, and I
Mhm.
wear them just to wear them as fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
Like I've always been told you're supposed to wear them like in your sleep or something when you go to bed, but I always take them off in my sleep. So now I just wear them as gloves. And it's, you know, cold here in Oregon, has been for a few months, and it will be for a few more months because the Pacific Northwest has 9-month-long winters. And
Yikes.
winters,
Yeah.
more like just slush season,
Ugh.
slushy season. Everything's soggy. But
You're gonna love it in Florida, dude. You're gonna
I
love it in Florida.
Yeah.
am so excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wear those compression gloves just like regular gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I got one of
That-
them right here.
Yeah, I have the
Okay,
exact
cool.
same thing.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look
I have
at
like
you
3 or
guys.
4 pair of them because I lose them all the time.
Me too. Amber, I'm gonna need your address. You should message that to me.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, keeping your body in shape. It's really hard to remember that you have to be physical as an artist.
Yeah.
Like you have to for the longevity of your career and everything.
That's exactly it. Like, I think the thing
Incorporating
is,
it into the schedule and making it routine though. Oh, one more
Oh,
thing I
it's
have to
so
do.
hard.
oh, come on. If you're taking care of yourself, it shouldn't be a chore.
Like I'll have my Ricardo alarm clock. Like,
Are
like, you up?
you up? Are you awake yet? No,
Well, the
you know
physical
what?
aspect doesn't mean that you have to be in a gym, you know.
Right.
It could be just
Exactly.
as exhilarating, like where I'm at, a 20-minute walk around the hills, you know, or
Yep.
around the trails. That's
Yeah, I try to
effective
walk
as well.
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I when I can't make it to the gym, and because my dog is overweight, not my fault. I adopted him that way. I adopted him because he's cute, but we have to take the stairs in my apartment building, so
Oh, okay.
I sometimes do a couple laps on the stairs.
Good for you. Yeah, just as simple as walking, even, man. That's perfect, Lauren. You're right, because like that
I've
does help
lost
out.
40 pounds since July, just walking every day.
Good for you. Isn't it kind of crazy that this is the culture and the society that we live in now, where it's like we have to tell ourselves, like, just go for a walk, dude. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything's convenient. You know what I mean? Everything's super convenient, and it's been like, if it's that whole metaphor where it's like if you had 2 lines of people and one said take a pill, lose weight, sleep better, eat better with this one pill, or maintenance on yourself, read a book, go for a walk, you know what I mean, go to the gym, drink water, like which line do you think would be longer? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people that would want that pill like instantly, it's like that instant gratification and stuff like that. That's the other part about getting into the regimen again sometimes, is because you want to see results faster than what they happen sometimes, you know, but as long as you put in that effort, man, it'll start happening. But you got to remember to treat yourself well. I mean, like if you're sitting here and you're treating your clients very pamperly and like giving them pillows and making sure they're comfortable and stuff like that, why aren't you doing that for yourself too? You know, like things we should do. Yeah, so that's a rant. But oh, one other thing, you guys are talking about the wrist stuff. Have you ever heard of KT tape, kinesiology therapy?
No.
Look into that, KT tape. There's when you buy it, you can go on the website and or on YouTube, and they show you a bunch of different ways to wear it. And I've been wearing it a lot lately, even when I tattoo, because you can kind of put your glove over it, but there's a way you can put it up and down on both sides of your wrists and then around it. And it actually helps alleviate a lot of that tension and pressure, and it'll help the blood flow, stuff like that too, which is what those gloves for, right? The compressions is like to help the blood flow. But look into that. I was actually wearing some at Hyperspace, and guys like, what's wrong with your wrist, man? I was like, nothing. I'm actually trying to be, proactive about it right now. So like, check it out. But that's it. Yeah. Walking, riding the bike. If you have a pet, that's the best way to get some exercises. Go out with your pet and stuff like that for sure, because they love to be walked, man. But yeah. You guys working on anything fun this week?
I'm just drawing to draw.
Right. What are you working on?
Jason kind of inspired me with all his bottles.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see it.
So I decided to start one of my own.
All right.
I can't wait till I get a, what do you call it? What's the word? The tablet, the iPad.
Oh, right on. Yeah,
Part of every piercing I do is going into a fund for an iPad.
Oh, good for you. Hopefully you're getting close so you can start playing around with it. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, watching everybody use it. I'm like, I want a toy too.
You're gonna get addicted, man. It's I've gone down so many YouTube rabbit holes, and then I met Jason and I was like, oh, he's got all the answers. Never mind.
Jason is a YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah, for sure, right?
I love the amount of information I get from him every time he's on.
That's awesome, dude. He's pretty radical that way. Yeah, it's really convenient. Like I started using it every time I'm on the plane and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? The need for a bag full of pencils and, color pencils and erasers and sketch pads and stuff like that. It's all right there in that one thing. You know what I mean? It's pretty awesome.
Oh, I know. I sat down my kneaded eraser a couple minutes ago and now I can't find it.
There you go. See?
When I got my first iPad, I sat down with one of my friends at a coffee shop who was trying to convince me to get one. And I just had a backpack full of drawing supplies that I took everywhere. And we met at the coffee shop and he just showed me it. He showed me Procreate. He showed me a Maziograph. He showed me some 3D figure stuff. And let me play with it for about a half an hour. We just had coffee together and I asked all the questions I could think of about it. Like, why is this better than paper? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what about the feel about it? And then he showed me the screen he had. And then we looked online and showed me other options to like those paper-like screen things so that it's not so slippery and that it actually has some friction.
Yeah.
And just about a half an hour into playing with it, I was like, oh fuck, I need one. And then he drove me to Best Buy and helped me pick out one. And also that friend is also the one that was a big part in encouraging me to follow through with my dreams of being a tattoo artist. And as soon as I got it, it really was life-changing. So I think a really cool idea is to, at the new shop you're at, if anybody there would be down to show you some of the common programs like Procreate.
Oh yeah, Rob's Rob's been showing me the programs and showing me what he does on Procreate.
Yeah.
He's
Have
like,
you
get
ordered
enough.
one yet?
No, I've got to get a couple more piercings under my belt before I'm ready.
Oh yeah. Okay. And you've already sat down and been able to play with one, right?
Yes,
All right.
they're so much fun.
Oh yeah. Cool.
After I was
gonna say,
playing with it
yeah.
for half an hour, I tried to double tap the paper I went back to.
Yeah. So that's a common problem, I think, when you get really used to the iPad. I think recently when I was, God, I don't remember which project I was doing, but I remember I went like this. I tried to zoom in. I also like that looked weird, and I tried to zoom in to see the detail, and it's like, no.
Can't do that in analog.
Oh.
Yeah, I've wanted to do a tattoos, like zoom in on some tattoos that I've been doing too. I'm like, what the fuck?
You tried to zoom in on a tattoo.
But what I mean, that instinct is there. Like we're like, oh wait, oh no, I can't do it. At least I'm
You,
not
like,
trying to
look
go.
around, hope nobody else noticed that you just did that.
Hey, as long as I'm trying to zoom in and not double tap, you know what I mean?
Double tap it.
like 2-finger tap it. Like go back. Shit. Can I erase that layer, please? Damn it. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna get ready for the rest of the day today. Thank you guys for being here. Why don't we go ahead and start signing off? Amber, we can start with you. How do we get a hold of you?
I am Amber Morgaine from Mays Landing, New Jersey, and you can find me on all social media under Amber Morgaine. And you can also find me at Luxury Tattoo in Egg Harbor City, New Jersey.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm happy you're back in the shop, and it's gonna do wonders for you, man.
I'm having so much fun.
Good. It's good to hear. Medusa Slays, how do we get a hold of you?
Hi, I'm Medusa. You can get a hold of me at medusaslays.com, or you can find me on Instagram at medusaslays with 3 S's at the end, because somebody else took regular Medusa Slays with 1 S at the end, and I don't know who they are. I'm gonna fight them.
Out by the dumpster.
I had somebody try to fight me for the name Amber Morgaine.
Wow.
Like,
They
That's
literally
my name.
called me and they were like, stop using my name. And I'm like, it's actually my name.
Weird.
oh yeah. We can
Well-
all have names. It's cool.
I know. I was like, I'm not fighting you over my name.
Medusa Slays with 3 S's is better than 1 S anyway, so don't worry about
Yes.
it. Yes.
It's like a
Well, cool, everybody. Thank you very
right.
much for joining. Thank you for getting up early, and everybody for watching the show and stuff like that. I appreciate it very much. I hope you guys all have a good day today.
You
Peace.
too.